social media.
Alperen çok güzel döndü. Alperen'den nefis bir reverse. Alperen Şengün.
We got that boy Segun.
Alperen Segun has been absolutely going off in Turkey's Eurobasket preparation games, and it's not going unnoticed. Even Kevin Durant, his new teammate in Houston, reacted to Şengun's slick moves on social media.
Hey!
Alperen çok güzel döndü. Alperen'den nefis bir reverse. Alperen Şengün.
That highlight, by the way, wasn't just against anyone, but the reigning world champion Germany. And
bro, he like a baby Jokic, but he faster, and he got that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, Houston got a squad over there, bro. Bro, what?
That highlight, by the way, wasn't just against anyone, Houston but the reigning world champion Germany. And the guy Alpi left behind, a former NBA vet, Daniel Theis. Over 25 points per game on 63% shooting while grabbing 8 rebounds and snatching almost 2 steals. That is absurd.
Wait, what'd he say? What'd he average? 25, 8, 2, almost 62%.
A vet, Daniel Theis. Over 25 points per game on 63% shooting while grabbing 8 rebounds and snatching almost 2 steals. That is absurd efficiency. So how much better does Şengun actually look this summer?
Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Bang out. Bang out.
The first thing that stood out was,
bro, what if he wouldn't have got injured, bro? He gave them Warriors hell, bro.
Watching Turkey was how much Şengun was featured on the low post.
I swear.
Sure, he gets touches there with the Rockets, but Turkey's head coach Ergin Ataman has basically made it the foundation of the Turkish offense. During these friendlies, around 34% of his possessions came from post-ups. Compare that to Houston, where it was closer to 22%. That's a huge bump, and
bro, Houston got a squad over there, bro, and they so damn dumb. They don't even realize it, bro. Everybody in Houston so damn drunk off Don Julio and shit. Houston don't even realize they got a squad this year.
Houston, where it was closer to 22%. That's a huge bump, and the crazy thing is his efficiency went up too. He averaged 0.93 points per possession on post-ups in these games compared to about 0.79 in the NBA last season. And I know it's a small sample size, but the tendencies on how he'll be used in the upcoming Eurobasket are quite clear. Also, keep in mind that the FIBA rules
in that EuroLeague killing them niggas,
supposed to make the post play harder. There's no defensive 3-second rule, which means defenders can camp the paint, send help, and double much more aggressively. But Şengun managed to thrive anyways. He went right at guys like Vucevic, Valanciunas, or Theis and looked comfortable doing it. It says a lot about how polished his footwork and strength are at this stage and how much more he has grown since his Eurobasket debut in 2020. This stage and how much more he has grown since his
boy.
Eurobasket debut in 2022. Just a reminder, 3 years ago he was a rookie on the Rockets who averaged under 10 points a game, essentially before he broke out in the NBA. And already his input for that Turkish team in 2022 was immense, as he was the leader of that team, averaging 16.5 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. Now he's coming into this tournament as an NBA All-Star who led the second-seeded Rockets and now is ready to lead this Turkish team.
Hit his dumb ass. God damn, why did he hit that nigga like that? Damn. Hold on, nigga. He's
All-Star who led the second-seeded Rockets.
Why he do him like this?
Now is ready to lead this Turkish team to the Eurobasket.
That crossover was
having set the scene, let's actually look at some clips of how Turkey is setting him up. Against Germany, he got a post-up on Daniel Theis with empty corner space. Both corners were cleared, one player cut into the paint to overload the help side, and suddenly Şengun had a true one-on-one with Theis. Really simple, but deadly. We saw the same structure against Lithuania. Şengun established a deep position while Osmani cut into the dunker spot, pulling a defender with him. Meanwhile, the rest of the team spaced out on the perimeter, stretching the floor. Again, it left Şengun with all the room he needed to operate.
That's tough.
And Turkey even added some creative wrinkles like
running this set. Who's that, Schroeder? This nigga Schroeder in every overseas basketball clip I ever see. I always see this nigga.
Creative wrinkles like running this set called Bilbao.
He get overseas, get the hooping. He get to the league and
get the ball on the block while the team ran stagger screens for a shooter on the opposite side. That way defenders couldn't overcommit to the double team because the off-ball action kept them occupied. These details show just how much Turkey's offense revolves around Segun. Every set is designed to give him options, and right now it's producing their most efficient possessions. Sometimes it's even as simple as running the Bilbao entry for Korkmaz. The shooter threat pulls attention away and Segun gets clean space.
Oh yeah, that's 1v1.
Nothing groundbreaking.
That's 1v1. That's 1v1. We call that island work. Straight clear out. Get the fuck out my way. It's time to ball. You can't guard me, nigga. Look at this offense, bro.
Sometimes it's even as simple as running the Bilbao entry.
All this shit fake action. All this shit at the mid-range, that shit fake.
Away and Segun gets
1v1,
space to work inside. Nothing groundbreaking, but super effective. Now let's pause here for a quick reminder. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to subscribe. On this channel, we cover the NBA through the international perspective and are your go-to place for all things concerning the upcoming Eurobasket. Now, back to Segun.
Okay, we're going to tap in, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Quite a lot was the inverted pick and roll. Instead of Segun setting the screen, Shane Larkin screens for him while Segun handles the ball. You don't see this often in Houston. Only about 3% of his plays in the NBA come this way. But for Turkey, it's been more frequent, around 5%, and it's been working well. This particular action with Larkin stood out because it caught the defense by surprise, creating a clear lane for Segun. And honestly, in this play, you can see how much his body has improved. In particular, his vertical and strength look way better compared to when he entered the league. And then there's the transition game. Against Montenegro, Segun grabbed the ball, pushed the transition, and threw down a dunk.
Hey! Oh, shit!
And threw down the transition game.
How tall is Segun? Like 6'11"?
Grabbed the ball,
16?
pushed in transition, and threw down a dunk.
He bringing that bitch up the court. Hey, get by him.
This is where he actually separates a bit from the Jokic comparisons. Jokic doesn't need flashy transition dunks to dominate, but Segun bringing that kind of athleticism to his game? Well, that just adds another layer.
Nigga, he be, boy.
Not many centers that size can do all that.
See, Jokic ain't finna do all that. Jokic finna he finna hit you with that big ass spin move, yeah. But he just gonna lay that bitch up. He gonna, you know how Jokic fat ass be. He lay that bitch up, he just and jog back down the court on some shit, on some fat shit. You know how fat kids hoop, bro. That's how Jokic play. Jokic ass hit you with a fat ass spin move. He shoot that bitch way back here. He one leg fade away way back here, then he just jog off like he don't give a fuck, like on some fat shit, then go sit down and shit. You know how Jokic be, bro. That's how that nigga play for real, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Really say none besides Segun really can. Turkey also ran some like nice ram actions.
He got some movement. You know what I'm saying?
They would set a screen for the screener to create confusion, then let Segun slip into space. Against Germany, this worked perfectly. Segun slipped the screen, caught it in the short roll, and immediately found a Dembona for the layup.
Yeah, he be down and shit too.
It's nothing revolutionary, but it just fits Alperen perfectly. Ataman's offense isn't overcomplicated. It's simplified, built to highlight Segun and let others play off him. Everyone knows him for the offense, but honestly, his defense has been really interesting in these FIBA games. In the NBA, his slower lateral movement is a bit of an issue. Teams target him in space, force him into pick and rolls, and that way they expose him.
Can he play defense?
The rules and the spacing actually help him. No defensive 3-second rule means he can camp the paint more, use his IQ, hands, and anticipation to make plays, and not get dragged out onto the perimeter as often. Against Germany, he had some great
Can't do that shit in the league, though.
In one, he rotated perfectly to cut off a roller right as the pass arrived. On the very next play, he used a peel switch to rotate onto the nearest man, then recovered again as the ball swung. His timing and intelligence really shows in those moments. Turkey has also been smart in pick and roll defense.
I mean, that's just common sense. They're just picking up on the other nigga. Like,
they keep him in drop coverage just like Houston, but when Germany tried to stretch him with shooters like Franz Wagner, Turkey adjusted. They switched Segun onto Wagner, but instead of leaving him isolated, they shifted into a quick 2-3 zone around him. That way his mismatch was hidden within the team defense.
Get into his own around his ass. He can't move his feet.
It's a clever use of FIBA rules to mask Segun's weaknesses.
That's smart though,
overall,
I ain't gonna lie, that's smart as hell.
Of all of this, I believe it shows that when Segun's usage gets a bump, he becomes an even deadlier weapon. His post game is thriving, his passing looks even sharper, and he's flashing athletic plays we don't always see in Houston. Defensively, FIBA rules allow him to play smarter, hide the weaknesses, and maximize his strengths. Now, I don't think anyone should overreact to 3 friendly games in the preparation for Eurobasket per se. Again, it's a small sample size, we'll see how he actually performs in the Eurobasket, and the 82-game NBA grind is a different...
Segun 6'11", that's what they got him listed at, 6'11". Tough.
Beast. But what these games show is that Segun has another gear when his team is actually running everything through him.
It's
and I guess that should get Rockets fans excited, because with KD and their young core in the mix, the Rockets' upcoming season seems really promising.
And you know KD can play with anybody. It don't matter what team you put Kevin Durant on, bro. He gonna go there and average 20, 25. Easy, like on some simple shit. Like, no, every game, KD will give you at least 25, bro. 25, 30, maybe even 40. Every time, bro.
And their young core in the mix, the Rockets.
So who all they got over there? They got Thompson.
Really promising. If I'm being honest, I won't.
They don't got Jalen Green anymore. They shipped his ass out.
Surprised if in the next few years he'll be in the same conversations as the other European superstars like Luka, Giannis, or Jokic. But what do you think? Could this be the year Segun carries Turkey to Eurobasket medals? Also, how do you see his pairing with KD? Can they build on last year's experience and actually?
Who is a point guard? Van Vliet? I don't know. We gonna have to see how that shit work. What y'all think? Let me know down below in the comments, man. We gone. Here we go.